Welcome to the Deepin Court-Supervised Settlement Program for Economic and Property Damage Claims. Now that you've completed the registration form, you have a claim. This video is how to complete the individual economic loss claim form. If you need additional information about documentation requirements, definitions, or general instructions, please visit the Individual Economic Loss Instruction Booklet, available at the Deepwater Horizon Court-Supervised Settlement Program website. Once you have the DWH Portal User Manual to that Individual Economic Loss Claim form, click Activity from the list of links on the left side of the screen. The next Claimant Search screen. You may specific search using your name or keywords, or a more general search for all claimants. Filling out the claim form for the first time, you're prompted to enter basic demographic information and answer questions necessary to begin review of your claim. If you are a law firm completing a claim form on behalf of your client, you may establish a new claimant. In the Claimant screen, you will be asked for claimant-specific information, including name, address, social number, or taxpayer identification number. You will also answer questions necessary to begin review of the claim. All questions marked with a red asterisk. Click Continue on each screen until you complete the registration form, then click Submit. If you are registered, you may enter your name and click the link to begin. Screen. You may review previously entered demographic information or demographic information requested on the screen. On the screen to review the forms completed. If you like a claim form, click Claim Forms under the Forms banner. On the Details screen, read types and select Individual Economic Loss Claims. It is recommended that you click the link next to Instructions. The instructions for completing the Individual Economic Loss Claim form prior to getting this claim form. It contains all the information and definitions necessary to submit for individual economic loss. Most importantly, Section 4 of the instruction booklet, all of the documentation that you need to submit in order to successfully complete the claim and be reviewed in a timely manner. Section provided into sections that correspond to this claim form. It is again strongly recommended that your instructions booklet open while you complete the claim form. So refer to it if you have questions or clarification while completing the claim form. Review the instructions booklet. Begin next to the claim type. You will receive general instructions on completing an individual economic loss claim, provided with a second link that will add the instructions booklet, and click the Begin button next to the claimant name and claimant ID. For the form, you edit the form by clicking the Edit button. The steps needed to complete an individual economic loss claim form. You have one, and move the steps in consecutive order. If you have a claim form, you will be able to edit certain steps that you have completed. Next step, click Begin. Claimability questions. Read the information screen and answer question 4. Certain excluded from the DWH settlement. If you were one of the industries in question 4, you may claim losses from that job. You must check the box if you had any job at all in these listed industries. However, you may claim losses from a second job that was not in one of the excluded industries. For example, you held 2 jobs in 2010, financial institution, and as a waitress in a seaside restaurant. You check the box next to financial institution. However, you will be permitted to continue and file individual economic loss claim for losses from the waitress job. Click Continue. You will be returned to the screen. Click Step 2, answer for which you are claiming losses. Read the information about selecting a compensation period. You may self-selected period of 90 or more consecutive days between April 21st, 2010 and December 1st, 2010. Or click Claim Administrator Selected Compensation Period to allow the claims administrator to choose your best compensation period. C. Information about your claiming jobs. Add new claim job, information about your job or jobs for which you are claiming losses. You must have information for every job from which you wish to claim losses. Information about each claiming job, and answer all of the required questions as they pertain to that claiming job. Questions required of every claimant. Begin. The answer you provide will determine which type of claimant you are, and in turn, determine which category of documentation you must submit. Section Instructions booklet contains a list of documents that you must be provided depending on the type of claimant you are. They're determined by the type of job you held or planning to hold in 2010. The option: new employment, seasonal, claimants of earning history, or career changer. Claimant who is not in the other three options and working on April 20th, 2010 is the date of the DWH spill. Keeping job determines which section you must reference when filling a claim form. I can be both a seasonal employee for one claim job and a time employee working a second job April 20th, 2010. Answer question based on the job for which the claimant is claiming losses. Click Add, save the information and answers in Step 2, Section C. Claiming jobs. If one. Click Save once all of your claiming jobs have been entered. Screen, click Begin next to each of the claiming jobs listed under Step 3. Enter for each job which you are comparing losses. Section D, benchmark period information. Read the options provided for base year and benchmark period information. Years you wish to include as your base year and the options provided. You may select claims administrator selected years. It's on base years and benchmark periods and how they will be used to evaluate your claim. Please refer to the instructions booklet. Section D, you may check box next to check here if the employer during your benchmark period is an employer as listed for your claim job in Section C. Job during the period you selected for your base year or years. You need to check this box and click Save and Continue to move to Step 4 in the claim form process. If you held a second job or a different job during your year or years, you must click Add Base Year Job. Requested about your employment history in the years you selected, or enter all information on all jobs held during the period which you would like the claims administrator to consider when choosing your benchmark period. If you selected that box in the first question on this screen. Entering employment information for your base year or years, click Save and Continue. On the screen, select Begin next to Enter jobs for which you are not claiming losses since 2007. Non-claiming jobs. If you have held which you are not claiming losses from 2007 through the present, you provide employer information on this screen by clicking Add Non-Claiming Job. If you have a claiming job, you save and continue with entering information in this section. Select Begin next to Step 5. Search, Education, Training, Licensing expense reimbursement. Expenses or job training expenses that you incur as a result of the DWH spill. Information requested in this section. Questions on these screens if you are claiming these types of losses. Click Continue once all the information on this screen has been answered. On the screen, select Begin next to Step 6, Law Employer Benefits Reimbursement. Employment-related losses screen. Information requested for any losses that you are claiming from insurance coverage, or loss of reduction in retirement plan benefits as a result of the spill. Next to Health Insurance Coverage Loss, Retirement Benefit Loss, to information about these losses, or for each type of loss you are claiming. If you are any employment-related losses, you may say Continue without entering a record on this screen. On the select Begin, next Step 7, Individual Economic Loss Documentation Upload. You must read the instructions about the documentation that is required to complete a review of your claim. You will not be able to successfully complete this section without opening the instructions booklet and seeing the required documentation that is dictated by the instructions booklet. In the booklet, you may be required to submit one or more sworn written statements. These that you create or documents submitted by a third party on the home screen. Home screen and add the sworn written statements that are directed in the instructions booklet. For all, you must select the Upload button to access the documentation needed on your computer's local drives. Select what you are required to upload. Once this is uploaded, they appear on the Step 7 screen under Uploaded Files. You may continue to return to the Step screen to Step 8 until all documentation necessary to complete your claim is uploaded. Necessary documentation, select Begin next to State. Payment decision, signature, and submission. Read instructions and information carefully. Check the box question 1 if this state is applicable to you. Be sure question 5, Claim Accounting Support Services. You must type your name in the signature box in the Payment Signature section. You must, when you are ready to submit your claim, submit an individual economic loss claim form. If you have any questions about submitting your claim, visit the Horizon Court Supervised Settlement Program website at www.deepwaterhorizonsettlements.com. Call 1-866-992-6674 or visit an assistance center nearest you.